Alright, so the next step is you're going to want to take this bag right here, and this bag right here, which has your boom block. You're going to take your boom block and you're going to slide it and put your boom in the boom block. Then you're going to want to get a ruler out, just like so, and you're going to want to measure, put this bag to the side, you're going to want to measure from where it starts, when it's all the way, you want to lock this all the way down, push it down, and then measure where the aluminum starts right here to right here, this part, and you want to measure approximately 330 millimeters. So I've already done this for us. It's 330 millimeters. So from here to here, which is 330 millimeters, I went and marked a little. I took an X-Acto and then just put a little squiggle right there, so I know where to slide this tail support piece. And then you're going to slide this on just like so. Slide it down the boom, and then you're going to want to pop your tail control slider in there as well, so that it's not a hassle to do later. And then you are going to want to go and screw this down right here. Take your self-tapping screw, and then you're going to want to get a 2.5 millimeter, and then just simply screw that down and tighten it. Make sure that's locked in with it. And then just keep it loose, and then find where that spot on the boom that you marked was, and twist this to the bottom. And my mark is right here, so I'm going to align this with that. And then looking down the center of the boom, you want to line this up with the middle of that as best as you can, just like so. And then once that is done, then you can just finish tightening it down, and now you're good. You got your tail slider on, your control piece. Alright, next you're going to want to take your boom and some WD-40, some kind of lubricant, and spray it down into the boom, and then put some on the bearings to help with the ease of getting them to slide down. And then what you're going to do is just stick this right here inside, and then this should easily slide down into the boom. Let's get this started right here. There we go, just persuade the bearing in, and there we go, got that. And then when that's complete, spray a little bit more, and then push that through, and then push that in, and then using the plastic tube provided right here, you can use this as a nice tool to push your bearings down as well. So we're going to use this, slide it over, and just push that down like so. And then you're going to want to take your boom and then put this in the clamp. And you'll see why right here. It's kind of difficult to do. Move some of this. And then just push this down. And then just until the torque tube touches those gears, and push the torque tube in. And you'll notice on here, it's hard to see in the video, but I put a thin layer of tape. A buddy of mine told me to put a thin piece of tape and push it into the grooves, and when that pushes into the gear, it will help limit the slop. Alright, so if you see right in there, right around this where the torque tube is, you can see a really thin layer of tape around that. So if I spin that, you can see a thin layer, and all I've done is just push it in and conform it around the whole entire torque tube. And by doing this to all sides, you greatly reduce the amount of slop that you'll have in the torque tube rod. And then just line up where that slot is, and then put your other side of your boom block on. And push that together, and then make sure that this side is all the way pushed in, just like so. And once you've completed that part, then you can take your tail assembly, and I put some tape on this side too. You can loosen your little boom clamp, so you can pull that back. Make sure the circle, that key, is aligned with this key. Slide it through. Pull the key up, and lock the torque tube in. You'll have to do some spinning, and once you get it, you'll feel it slide down, and then just drop this key right here, and then your boom won't be able to slide, your tail case won't be able to slide like it is doing now. Now we just locked it, and then just loosely tighten those bolts down in the back so that it doesn't slide all around. And there you go. Now we are done with this part of the tail assembly. And if you want, you can simply pop this part onto the ball to keep it from flopping all over the place. And remember, you'll still probably have to adjust this clamp. And after that, then we're going to do the next step, which is going to be putting some hardware in there. Alright, now you'll be ready to assemble the boom block screws. There's going to be 5 screws that you're going to need to tighten down. And on the back side, there are 4 locking nuts. And the 4 screws right here, they're going to be longer screws, and they come in this package right here, in this little bag. And you're going to want to grab the 3x14mm screws, and this is where the boom block is in this little package, where the boom with the boom block, with this big plastic piece. And you're going to want to screw these down and put the little locking nuts on the other side, which are M3 locking nuts, and there's little grooves. Make sure you slide those in there, and just tighten them down with a 2.5mm on a cross pattern until they get nice and snug. And once you're done with that, then you're going to want to take your 3mm and make sure the holes are aligned. Even doing this first before you get them, you don't want to really tighten these down tight. Just get them threaded, and then put this 3mm set screw right here in. It's going to be a larger one, and you're going to want to lock that down. And that's going to go in, there's a little hole in the boom, and this is to keep the boom from sliding out. So you're going to want to put that in first so that you know the boom's set. If there's any weird tension, then stop, make sure that this is aligned so you don't do any damage to anything. And once you've gotten that, you also want to make sure that you don't tighten it. Like once it stops, just stop, don't keep trying to tighten it because it's a machine screw. It'll just eat out the plastic. Its whole point is just to keep the boom from sliding out, so it doesn't need to be super tight or anything. And then you'll tighten these down in a cross pattern with a 2.5mm. And once you're done, that will complete the boom block. And also you'll notice I've got this, here's the tail push rod slider. If you notice, it's with this line right here, aligned. And when I push that, push and pull it, slides nice and easy, no real friction or force. And then another quick tip is the rest of these screws that are in the package, along with these 5 right here and those 4 locking nuts, putting these in the boom block so you don't lose them and so you don't forget which screws go where is a smart thing. You'll be putting this boom block on, but just so we don't forget, just go ahead and loosely put those on, because working on other stuff you might get, if you get sidetracked or anything, this keeps you from ending up with missing screws, which is a huge annoyance, I know, to all of us. And also, let me point out one thing. It seems like these screws, compared to the old aligned screws, are deeper. So they have a deeper hexagon. So it seems like these are going to be less likely to strip out than the old ones. That was really nice. I've noticed this. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching this video. Go check out build video 11. Have a nice day and fly safe.